Jessica Sanchez has never been a stranger to high-stakes stages or to the kind of pressure that comes with live television, but when she returned to the spotlight during the America's Got Talent finals, with her rendition of Die With a Smile, she delivered a moment that immediately etched itself into talent show history. The performance was not only a reminder of her incredible vocal ability but also a revelation of how far she has grown as an artist since first becoming a household name during her unforgettable run on American Idol years ago. The AGT finals are always a dazzling culmination of talent, spectacle and drama, but when Jessica walked onto the stage there was an undeniable shift in energy. The lights dimmed, the opening chords of the ballad began, and within seconds she transported the entire audience into the raw emotional landscape of the song. Her control, her restraint, and her emotional honesty set her apart from the typical guest performance. This was more than an appearance, this was artistry. And it immediately lit up social media and reaction platforms across the world. Jessica Sanchez has long carried the reputation of being one of the strongest voices of her generation. When she was just a teenager on Idol, her renditions of songs like I Will Always Love You and Dance With My Father left judges speechless and audiences spellbound. Though she didn't take home the season title, she cemented herself as one of the most memorable contestants the franchise had ever seen. Her career since has been filled with international tours, collaborations, and performances that showcase her versatility and powerhouse vocals. Yet even with all that history, her AGT performance felt like a fresh introduction. The moment she sang the opening lyric of Die With a Smile, it was clear this was Jessica at her most refined. She did not oversing, she did not rely on vocal tricks. Instead, she let the natural warmth of her tone, the depth of her phrasing, and the vulnerability in her delivery carry the song. As she moved through the verses, her voice floated with delicacy before swelling into breathtaking crescendos during the chorus. Each note was delivered with purpose, creating an atmosphere so intimate that many in the audience were visibly emotional. By the time she reached the bridge, the crowd was completely enraptured, holding on to every syllable as if time itself had slowed. One of the most fascinating aspects of this performance was the way it resonated far beyond the AGT theater. Within minutes of the live broadcast, clips began circulating online, spreading rapidly across platforms like X, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans from around the globe posted tearful reactions and heartfelt tributes, while hashtags like #JessicaSanchez trended worldwide. What made this wave even stronger was the response from the vocal coaching community. Seasoned professionals who spend their careers dissecting and analyzing voices began posting their own breakdowns of her performance. Among them, one reaction in particular went viral. A respected vocal coach sat down to watch her performance live on stream, and his response mirrored that of so many fans. As the performance unfolded, he paused frequently to highlight technical brilliance, noting her impeccable breath control, her smooth transitions between registers, and her extraordinary ability to color her voice with emotional shading. He explained that one of the most difficult things for singers on a stage like AGT is resisting the urge to overperform. Many competitors and even guest artists lean into vocal fireworks to dazzle audiences, but Jessica showed restraint, choosing instead to let silence, pauses, and subtle dynamics speak just as loudly as her most powerful belts. The coach praised this choice as a sign of maturity and mastery, pointing out that Jessica no longer had anything to prove vocally. She had already established her range and power years ago. What she demonstrated now was artistry. He described her approach as painterly, shaping each line of Die With a Smile with intention, like brushstrokes on a canvas, and it was this artistry, he argued, that elevated the performance from technically great to unforgettable. At one point during his reaction, the coach grew visibly emotional, placing a hand on his chest and admitting he was moved beyond words by the way Jessica conveyed vulnerability. He explained that singing is not just about pitch and tone but about storytelling and communication. Jessica managed to turn the performance into an intimate conversation with every listener in the room. The coach closed his analysis by declaring the rendition a masterclass in vocal interpretation and a benchmark performance for live television. What made his reaction resonate with viewers was the combination of technical breakdown and genuine emotion. Millions connected with his words because they reflected what audiences themselves felt but could not always articulate. The viral spread of both Jessica's performance and the coach's analysis reignited conversations about her place in contemporary music. Critics and journalists published glowing reviews the next morning, with headlines declaring her the true star of the AGT finals. Despite not being a competitor, many noted that the winner of the show might have taken home the trophy, but Jessica Sanchez walked away with the night. The attention also sparked industry chatter. Insiders speculated that her resurgence in visibility could lead to renewed label interest, new recording opportunities, or even a major tour. Her ability to captivate across generations and across cultures was evident in the global wave of support. Filipino fans celebrated her as a national treasure, while American audiences reminisced about discovering her talent during Idol. Her impact was universal, transcending borders through the universal language of music. Beyond the excitement of the moment, Jessica's AGT performance also carried broader implications for the reality television landscape. It reminded audiences of the power of pure musical artistry in an era often dominated by spectacle and gimmicks. Her performance stood out precisely because it was simple, honest, and emotionally charged. Rather than relying on elaborate staging, pyrotechnics, or background dances, she commanded the stage with nothing but her presence, her voice, and her interpretation of the song. It was a reminder that while talent shows thrive on variety, what audiences often remember most is the raw power of a great singer telling a story, and Jessica Sanchez is one of the finest storytellers to ever emerge from these stages. By the time the AGT finals drew to a close, it was clear that Jessica's performance would be remembered as one of the standout moments, not only of the season but of the show's history. Her rendition of "Die with a Smile" will likely go down as a career-defining moment, the kind that artists look back on years later as a turning point where artistry met opportunity on a stage watched by millions. In that sense, Jessica Sanchez did not simply perform a song, she delivered an experience, an unforgettable connection between artist and audience, one that will echo long after the applause fades. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Talent Zone Updates YouTube channel for more update news.